Welcome to Soul Awakening Solutions, the podcast where we offer tips and tools to empower you on your journey through your dark night of the soul or through your soul awakening. So today I really want to talk about alchemy. I want to look at how we can change our soul contracts through alchemy. So first, I want to talk about what is a soul contract and how we can renegotiate them or get out of those contracts. I'm Susan. This is Soul Awakening Solutions. And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube, which you may be watching now. And you can also find me on the web at www.soulawakeningsolutions.ca. I'm a spiritual awakening guide, a author, a coach, and a psychic development teacher. And I offer these tips and tools from my own personal experience. I went through a very powerful awakening. And as I recognize it now, the being, which was much of a dark being, that woke me up was a part of a soul contract, as much as I hate to admit that it was a contract that on some level I had made an agreement that I would wake up at a specific time for a specific purpose. So my purpose that I know is to guide others through this dark night of the soul, especially those of us who woke up out of addiction and mental illness. So I had spent much of my life being labeled and being treated for mental health issues. And I still have those. I still have difficulties and challenges with my mental body being in alignment or in attunement with my emotional body, with my physical body. And I think I always will. This is Earth. And so trying to stay in alignment with those that are around us is very difficult and very challenging. So parts of the dark night of the soul really often look like or feel like we're bipolar. We experience some really difficult challenges like depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation. All of those things are very deeply associated with that dark night of the soul. And part of those experiences, the really difficult, traumatic ones, I have found are actually times where a soul contract is being enacted. And so there's actually an agreement that whatever situation, person, place, or thing that has put you into that terrible angst and that terrible dark space is actually there to wake you up. So it's like, oh no, I can remember when I was young and throughout my life, before I started really working with conscious and lucid dreaming, which I actually have a course in. You can look that up. I'll leave a link in the comments to the course. But before I started working within my dreams, whenever I would have a nightmare, I would remember that I was dreaming. And I would say, this is a nightmare. I'm going to wake up. And I would wake myself up out of the nightmare. It's something that I had chosen, an ability, a gift that I'd chosen to carry into this life with me. And so I chose not to experience nightmares. And I think that that was just a little reminder that when I did wake up into this nightmare, that I woke up into this horrific psychic attack and what was deemed as a psychotic break, which it was. I had broken with reality, and I was walking in a virtual reality. I was no longer in the illusion that I was separate from anything. And so I could connect and communicate, and still can, with a number of beings, some of which I didn't want to talk to. Quite frankly, I did not want to be communicating with them, but they were still talking to me. So I had to learn. I had to learn to tune that out. I had to learn to change that. And that's what alchemy is. And I did say I wanted to talk about alchemy, and specifically number alchemy. So there's all forms of alchemy, and what alchemy is changing or creating something from from nothing. And numbers really are the basis of creation. So one of the very basic building blocks of creation, if you look into the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, sacred geometry, it's all about numbers. And so we can actually find our life path number, our soul number, our own personal angel numbers. All of those numbers carry a vibration, a frequency. So each number carries a frequency which resonates with a lot of information. And because my frequency perhaps is a 1, then it says that I'm going to be a leader and I'm going to be an innovator and inventor. I'm going to begin new things. And maybe some days I don't want to be that. Maybe some days I don't want to lead. Maybe some days I want somebody to lead me. Maybe I want everything already made for me and already done for me, and I just want to relax. And I want to go and study something new. I want to learn from someone else. And that can be really hard to do when you are a 1 personality. If that's your choice, if your life path choice was a 1, it can be very hard to do that. And so one of the ways that we can make that change is through number alchemy. We can take another number. For example, if I wanted to study and learn, and I was terrible. I can tell you, if you were to talk to my teachers, they would tell you I taught from the back of the classroom all the time, constantly, rather than, because I'm a teacher and that's part of my soul path journey. My number is a master teacher number, 33. So whenever I was in a learning situation, that teacher would catapult forward. And it would be very difficult for anyone who was leading the classroom, who was doing the teaching, to teach me. It wasn't that I wasn't teachable. It was that I didn't know how to drop out of that master teacher number. And so I had to learn how to do that. And one of the ways that we can do that is through alchemy, through using number alchemy. So I could take the 33 and collapse it. And 33 collapses into a 6. It reduces down. Yeah, I say collapse because they add together and it becomes smaller. So it collapses into a 6. And a 6 life path is a path of service, which meant that I could be of service to the teacher and be quiet and listen. And I could be of service to the community and contribute only my ideas, only things that were arising for me as a result of the instruction, and not all of the new information that I had already that I'd come into the class with. So I could take the master teacher number and reduce it down to a 6. But what if you don't have that option? What if your number is a 1 and you don't know, how did I even get to a 1? That would be the first place to start, because you can expand it. So you can expand out of that one. And you can say, okay, I got to the number 1 by being a 5, by adding a 5 and a 5. Perhaps you're born on the 5th of May. And so 5 and 5 added together become 10, which reduces down to a 1. And that brings you to in this case, it's an attitude number because it's your birthday number. And it reduces down to a 1. But you can bring it back to a 55. And 55 is a number of major changes. So you can say, okay, I'm going to be a leader, but I'm going to be an innovator. So I'm going to be able to be a very adventurous leader, because 5 is also a number of adventure. So I can take adventures. I can make a big change in the world. So I don't have to lead people necessarily. Maybe I don't even like people. Maybe I'm a 1 and I like to be alone. And how am I going to be a leader if I prefer to be alone? So we always think that we need to be the exact thing that number is, but we can expand the number and we can collapse the number. The other thing we can do is we can add something to it. So if I'm a 1 and I'm having real difficulty being in relationship with others, even being in relationship with myself, with my physical body, for example, if I'm having difficulty embracing that I'm in communication with this body at all times and she's communicating with me, I can add a 1. I suggested to someone this week who is actually a one, that they add a one, and immediately she said, number alchemy, I love it. And she added a one to her hand. And we can do that. We can add those numbers. I would be cautious actually of numbers being going on my body, because if I put numbers on my body, I'm actually changing the alchemy of my body. We do so many things unconsciously. And so when we start to awaken on this soul journey, what our goal is to become conscious so that then we can become conscious co-creators. So if you are deciding that I want to change something and I'm not sure what, then start by looking at perhaps what's my life path number or what's my soul path number, and how can I bring them into alignment. Some of the most difficult challenges arise on this soul journey is when I feel like I'm out of alignment with my soul purpose. And so when you look at your soul number and your life number, maybe they're not in alignment with each other. Maybe you've chosen a soul path of a one and a life path of a six. So a soul path of one would be leadership and innovation. Six is service. It's very difficult to be in service and be a leader too. That can be very challenging, because those of us who have chosen a six path of service really recognize that, well, I lead by doing and I lead by example, but I don't want to stand out in front, because that's not being of service. That's authority. And so maybe you've chosen that because you want to find a balance between service and authoritarianism. You want to help with the power struggle on earth. But how do I balance that so that I can still feel like I'm being a part of my soul's journey? And one of the ways you can do that is by tricking, using some alchemy. Change your soul number. No, you can't change your birthday. I recognize that. But you can choose a different one. You can say, this is my rebirth day. And so I'm going to choose a new soul's journey. I'm going to let go of my soul contract with my birthday, with that idea that the day that I was born is the day that determines everything, that it's my destiny day. And I'm going to choose my rebirth day. This is my rebirth day. This is my destiny, my choice. I'm going to let go of fated destiny, and I'm going to make a new contract. And we can do that. We're in charge of this life. The thing is when we become conscious of the tools that we have, the tools that created us, the tools that created those contracts, then we can become conscious of how we can make the adjustments. So if you'd like to hear more about soul contracts, if you'd like to hear more about number alchemy, please leave me a note in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to hear more of, and I will expand on that. I do offer angel numerology charts and guidance readings. So you can find me on the web on www.soulawakeningsolutions.ca, or you can message me. You can leave a note in the comments and leave me. I can get an instant message to you. You can send me an email. The email address is also in the comments below. So yeah. So if you've made it all the way to the end, I'm impressed, because I'm not sure I would have made it all the way to the end of this video. If you did make it all the way to the end, I have a challenge for myself. And that challenge is to use number alchemy on this podcast and get 1111 followers. So when I get 1111 followers, I'm going to give away a free healing session, a free coaching session, and a free course to one of those followers, to one of those subscribers. I'm also going to give away 11 free courses. So 11 people will get a free seat in one of my courses, the course of your choice. I teach 5 different courses currently, and all of them are interactive on Zoom. So you can sign up for whichever one suits you, or you can download one of the self-directed courses that I have. And that's your choice as well. So 11 people will get a free course, and 1 person will get a free collection of offerings, a healing, a guidance session, and a free course, and a free number chart too. So that's it for me. Hit the like button, share this, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Spotify. And when we hit 1111, we're going to give away some more free guidance. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have an amazing angel blessed rest of your day.